Betrayal cuts deep, but some wounds don't just heal, they turn into something else. I walked away the day I found out. I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I didn't even give them the satisfaction of seeing me break. My best friend and my wife, together, laughing behind my back, thinking they had won. They thought I was done. They thought my silence meant defeat. But they didn't realize one thing: revenge doesn't always come when you expect it. And when it finally arrived, neither of them were ready. It started with small things, things most people wouldn't even notice. A hesitation in her voice when she said his name. The way they exchanged glances when they thought I wasn't looking. The sudden late nights, the last-minute cancellations, the unexplained smiles when she checked her phone. I told myself I was imagining it, that I was being paranoid, until I saw the proof. A message on her phone. One I wasn't supposed to see. Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. And the name underneath? My best friend. I didn't confront them. I didn't rage or demand answers. Because the moment I saw that message, I knew they weren't worth it. Instead, I made a choice. I walked away. No fights. No goodbyes. Just silence. But they didn't realize my silence wasn't surrender. It was the calm before the storm. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was the first step in something much bigger. They thought they had won. That I would disappear, broken and defeated, while they played house with their stolen love. But they underestimated me. I vanished from their lives, but I didn't disappear. I worked in silence, turning my pain into power. I built myself back up, stronger than before. I surrounded myself with people who were loyal, who respected me, who saw my worth when they didn't. And while I was rising, they were sinking. At first, things seemed perfect for them. She had him, and he had her. They flaunted their relationship, making sure everyone knew they had moved on. They thought I was watching from the sidelines, miserable and alone. But what they didn't know, I was never watching from the sidelines. I was planning. Because some betrayals don't deserve a reaction. They deserve a reckoning. Karma has its own timing, but sometimes it just needs a little push. Their perfect little world didn't stay perfect for long. Cracks started to form. Small at first, arguments, doubts, jealousy. He started staying out late. She started checking his phone. The same signs I once ignored were now haunting her. And then one day, he left her. Just like she once left me. No warning, no fight, no goodbye, just a cold, empty space where he used to be. I imagined she felt the same sinking feeling in her chest, the same helplessness I once did. The difference? I had prepared for my pain. She hadn't. She was alone now, abandoned, humiliated. And as fate would have it, the only name left in her mind was mine. That's when I got the message. I made a mistake. Can we talk? I stared at my screen, feeling nothing. No anger, no sadness. Just satisfaction. She thought the worst had passed. She had no idea. My revenge wasn't over yet. She thought reaching out was her choice. That she was the one making the move. She had no idea I had been waiting for this moment all along. I responded, keeping it simple. Let's meet. No warmth. No emotion. Just an open door, one she eagerly walked through. We met at an upscale restaurant, one she could never afford now that she was alone. She arrived early, just like I knew she would. Sitting at the table, nervously smoothing out her dress, checking her reflection in the silverware. Trying to look like the woman she once was. I walked in, slow and confident. And the moment she saw me, I knew. She regretted everything. Her eyes searched my face, looking for the man she left behind. But he was gone. In his place was someone she could no longer reach. You look different, she said, forcing a smile. I am, I replied, taking my seat. For a long moment, she just stared, as if trying to find the right words. I don't even know where to start, she finally whispered. I leaned back, watching her squirm. This was my moment. Start with the truth, I said. Why are you really here? And just like that, the walls she built around her pride started to crack. She swallowed hard, looking down at her hands as if the truth was hiding somewhere in her trembling fingers. I made a mistake, she finally whispered. I thought I was choosing the right thing. But I didn't know what I had until I lost it. I didn't say a word. I just watched. She exhaled shakily, her voice cracking. He left me. Just walked away. Like I didn't matter. I tilted my head slightly. Now you know how it feels. She flinched at my words, pain flashing across her face. Good. Let her feel it. I don't expect you to forgive me, she continued. I don't deserve that. But I need you to know that I regret everything. That I regret what? I cut in, my voice calm but sharp. Losing me? Or losing the comfort I gave you? She hesitated. Too long. And in that hesitation, I had my answer. It wasn't me she missed. It was what I represented. Security. Stability. The version of herself she was when she was with me. I let out a quiet chuckle, shaking my head. You don't miss me, I said. You miss the safety net you thought would always be there. Her eyes widened slightly, like she hadn't expected me to see through her so easily. But that's the thing about betrayal. It opens your eyes in ways love never could. She opened her mouth, desperate to deny it, but the truth was already out. She knew it. I knew it. It's not like that, she whispered, shaking her head. Enough, I cut in, my voice steady. Cold. Final. Her breath hitched. She wasn't expecting this. She thought I would be angry. She thought I would be emotional. She thought there was still a chance. But all she saw in my eyes was indifference. Did you really think you could walk back into my life like nothing happened? I asked, leaning in just slightly. That I'd forget how easily you threw me away? Her hands trembled in her lap. I thought. She swallowed hard, blinking back tears. I thought maybe we could fix things. I smirked, leaning back. Fix things? I repeated, shaking my head. There's nothing left to fix. Silence. She exhaled shakily, her entire world crumbling around her. And then, just when she thought it couldn't get worse, I gave her the final blow. By the way, I said, my voice casual, almost amused. I'm with someone now. Someone who actually knows my worth. Her body went completely still. Her lips parted, but no words came out. She wanted to say something, anything, but there was nothing left to say. She had lost me. Not because I had moved on, but because she was never worth coming back to. And this time when I walked away, she was the one left behind. I stood up, sliding my hands into my pockets, completely at ease. I had won. Not through anger, not through revenge, but by becoming the man she could never have again. She sat there, frozen, watching me like a ghost from her past, a past she could never return to. Her hands clenched around the napkin in her lap, her breath shaky. Her eyes, once filled with arrogance and certainty, now held only one thing: regret. The kind that never fades. The kind that stays with you forever. I gave her one last look, not of hate, not of anger, but of absolute indifference. And then I turned and walked away. No dramatic words. No final glances. Just silence. Because that was the difference between us. She walked away thinking I'd always be there. And I walked away knowing she would never matter again. As I stepped outside, the air felt lighter. I was free. And behind me, she sat alone, drowning in the one thing she never thought she'd feel. The unbearable weight of losing me forever. Final message to the audience. They don't miss you. They miss the way you made them feel. And once you realize that you'll never look back,